Alright everybody, it's MYOG Monday again. So, for this episode of MYOG Monday, we are going to create an adjustable lanyard. Now typically this type of adjustable lanyard is used with a large blade like this kukri, a chopping type blade. But, as an added bonus, it can be used with a Silky saw to help secure the blade when it is folded. Because sometimes these Silky saws, the main bolt here will get loose, and when you shake it, the blade will come open. Now, if this is inside your pack, and that blade comes open, and you reach in the pack and you grab it by these teeth, you're not going to be having a good day. These teeth are ridiculously sharp. They're impulse hardened Japanese steel, and I'm pretty sure they can cut space-time. They are so sharp. So, I'm going to show you how to do it with a length of paracord on this Silky saw, and then we're going to tie it slightly different for this kukri. So, we're going to show you both. Consequently, this also ties into a video Blackie Thomas did not that long ago. It was called Fix That Silky Saw. I'm going to put a link to that in the description, where he had a similar idea to this, but using paracord with a bead. I think this is better because you don't need a bead, you just need paracord. But hey, that's just my opinion. So, what you will need for this MYOG is a lighter to melt the paracord. I like having a multi-tool for various reasons, you usually see throughout the video, and a way to cut paracord. So, for my big boy 2000 here, I cut a piece of this orange paracord 17 inches. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to tie a double overhand knot at one end. So you go like that, through itself, and then through it again. And I'm tying this really close to the end. And we're going to dress that up. So there is a double overhand knot. Real simple. Then we're going to feed this through the Silky saw, just like that, through the lanyard hole. And we're going to bring this around, and now we're going to tie a slip knot. And we just go around, and get a little bit more slack. We go around, just like that. So I went around. Now I'm going to come up, over, and I'm going to go back down through these loops. And sometimes, like I'm tying this a little too close for comfort, a little too tight, but that's alright. I don't mind it tight. And we're going to dress that knot up. There's our slip knot. Now when I pull, it needs to be tighter though. Okay, this end I can tighten it, and this end I can loosen it. Okay, now that we got that tied, now what we need to tie is we need to tie another stopper knot here. We're just going to go through, and we're going to tie another double, just like we did before, real close to the melted end. Okay. So, there's how it looks. Now look at this. So there's where the blade comes out. You can fold this over, and that tightens up on it just like it should. No blade's going to be coming out. When you want to loosen it, you grab this small short pigtail. There you go. That flops down out of the way, and now you can open and use your saw. Really, really simple. Plus, you can open that fully up. You got a little bit of loop there. You could hang it up if you wanted to. You just got to remember that one end of the cord tightens and one end loosens. Real simple. Now all these knots, the two overhand knots and the sliding knot, I tied it with this bright cord so you could easily see it. Now when I tie this piece for the kukri, I'm going to be using black cord, so it's going to be a little bit harder to see. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten these up. And we are going to do the kukri next, and I'm going to show you what's different about that one. So let me get my Silky saws out of here. Now let's do the kukri. Alright. First, we're going to take our black paracord, and I want to unwind quite a bit, because this is where it gets kind of interesting. You need a lot more cord than you think. So, I'm going to take my right hand, because I'm right hand dominant, and that's the hand I'm going to use for my knife work. I'm going to take my pinky, I'm going to put that right on the end of that cord. Thumb here on the cord. I'm going to bring it around, back one more time. That's my stop point, and then I'm going to add 4 inches. Each of these squares here is 4 inches. That's where I want to cut it. So now, okay, got that cut. Now I want to melt this end. Now it seems like a lot of cord, but when you get tying this, you're going to be like, wow, where'd all the cord go? Okay. Okay. Alright. Now I can get the rest of that cord out of my way. Now, same thing. We're going to tie a double overhand knot on one end. Just like this. Boom. I tighten it up right on itself. Okay. Now, I'm not going to take this out of the sheath, but the edge is all right here. I'm going to turn it like this, because I'm right-handed. I'd be holding the blade like this if I was chopping. The end with the knot on it goes toward the floor, and the other end is going to come up through the lanyard hole, just like that. Okay, now I'm tying this for right-handed use. If you were left-handed, you would have it flipped this way, and you'd be doing everything exactly opposite of what I'm about to do. So keep that in mind. So, end with the knot. This is the end we're going to tie the slip knot with. So we go over again. So we got our 2 loops. We come up, go through. Alright, and when we tighten this up, we want a little bit of a tag, a little bit of a tail here, and that makes it easy to grab with gloves on. Okay, that's nice. See, we got our little bit of a tag. A little bit longer than I normally do, but hey, it'll work. Now I'm going to have to unsnap this and get this out of the way, because I want my hand here. And I think I'm going to have to take it out of the sheath. Okay. So there's that SOG kukri. I'm just careful of this because this dang thing is sharp. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is we need to see how much cord we actually need here. So I'm loosening this almost to the end, but not quite. I don't want to pull this accidentally through the slip knot. Okay? And then I want to take this cord and I want to come up and around this handle, just like this. See that? Put my hand through here, and when I tighten this, let's see if I can, gotta go off camera for 1 second, because reaching around this camera trying to do this is almost as hard as algebra, let me tell you. And before anybody makes any wise cracks, I was never good at algebra. Okay. I'm slowly getting it. I've almost got it situated. Bear with me, folks. Okay, so this is how it would look. It goes around the handle and around my hand, and it effectively locks my hand on there. So if I'm doing, and you want the knot kind of over the web like this. So if I'm doing like a lot of heavy chopping with this, which is pretty much what a kukri is for, if my hand, if I accidentally lose grip and lose control of this blade, it's not going to go flying off someplace, or it's not going to be on the end of a lanyard and swing like a helicopter blade back into my body. Remember, your legs, abdomen, arms, it's the triangle of death. It's where all your major arteries are. If you cut yourself deeply in your inner legs, inner arms, you're likely to hit one of your major arteries, which could be fatal. Don't do that. Okay, so this is pretty much how you want it, right? Well, now I'm going to loosen this. I want to be able to get my other hand like this under here. That's about how much slack I want. Okay, I'm going to take my hand out. Now, consequently, that should give me, I'll pull just a tiny bit more slack, maybe an inch more through there. That should give me enough slack to where when I'm wearing a winter glove, if I need to use it. Now I'm going to put a stopper knot right here. And we'll do a double. Just for the sake of symmetry, we're going to do a double. Okay. I'm trying to dress that. Alright. So now, this can't get any bigger than what it is. Right? So when we set this up, like this, you put your hand through. I'm sorry about the camera work, folks. I'm doing my best here, I swear. Okay, so you would have it above your knuckles like this, and you tighten down. That ain't going anywhere. You have full control for chopping, right? So it's not just a decorative lanyard. It's just not a loop. It's something you can actually use. And if you're chopping a lot of bush, you will get fatigued. This could save you from an injury. Okay? And then to loosen it, we just grab this little tail, and see that? It pulls and it stops at that knot. Then we can get our hand out. Now, we're going to go back from this stopper knot to about here, and we're going to tie a triple overhand knot. So we're going to go through once, twice, and 3 times. Now we're going to tighten that up. I probably should have went lower with that. Depending on how it looks when we're done here, I might redo that. That's a lot lower because I wanted the knot more right here. So we're going to untie this and we're going to redo that. Okay. Try pulling more material through here. Okay. So that's once. That's twice. And see how I'm stacking it when I do that? And that's the cat putting his opinion in. So that's 3 times. Hey James, can you put a sock in it, man? I'm doing a video. But I'm sure everybody will love to hear from you later on. Yeah. Well, that's marginally better. Hold on. Come here, James. Say hello to the world, James. Say hi. Yeah, okay. You had your opinion. Now go. Yes, please. Okay. So, James, do you mind? Alright. So that is our adjustable lanyard, which is actually a tool. I guess the next step here is to go out back. We're going to chop some stuff with this, and I will show you how this really allows you to hold on to it without losing control. Now, this has a very rubberized handle, which is great even when your hand sweats, but the biggest enemy here is fatigue. And I'm guilty of it. A lot of people are guilty of it. When you're fatigued, you should stop. But a lot of times when we're fatigued, we think we can just go that much farther, just a little bit farther. I can chop a little bit more. I can do a little bit more. This is hopefully going to help prevent an injury. So, next step, let's go outside. Let's try it out. One thing before I go out there, I'm going to cut this tag end off right about here. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to melt that, just to give it a little bit better of an appearance. There we go. And if you see, I went back out. Watch out for that hot plastic. Whew, that stuff's hot. And if you see, I went back and I retied this knot so it's slightly longer than the loosening knot, and it's a four times through overhand knot, and it's bigger. So even in the dark, I can tell which one loosens and which one tightens. So I hope that makes sense. Alright, now we're going outside. Okay, we're back indoors. You saw the lanyard in action. There is one thing I realized after I came inside, and I said, oh man, I didn't say that in the video, did I? Which is, I'm going to show you, is when you're using this type of a lanyard. Ooh, that was close, I almost cut myself. Okay, I'm going to go off camera for a second here to get it on my hand, because what I have to show you is kind of important. It's amazing. I turn that camera on And not only can I not remember anything, but I forget things left and right. I swear to God, it's like I summon gremlins or something. Okay, like right now I have it cinched down pretty tight on my hand, and I have this tail here. Sometimes bringing this tail around in your palm and I'm pinching that will keep this knot from ever losing any tension. And I did lose tension a few times out there. I had to cinch it up again, tighten it. So once again, the cord that you use to tighten down with, bring that around inside your palm, and that will not come loose no matter how much you swing and cut and everything else. So that is an adjustable lanyard, which, as you've seen, can be very useful. However, when you become fatigued, you should stop. When I was in the Army, we went to jungle school, and we had parangs, machetes, stuff like this. And what we used to do when we were cutting trail is whoever was taking point and cutting, when they became fatigued, they rotated to the rear of the formation, and the next person in line with a fresh machete took up. And we were able to cover a lot of territory that way. And by the time you cycled through everybody, you're talking, if it was squad size, you're talking six plus people, usually 7, and platoon, you're talking 30. I think it was, our platoons were 35 people a long time ago. But when you're fatigued, put the blade away, catch your breath. Okay, this is just an added safety measure. Alright, that will tie this MYOG up. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see y'all later in the woods.